Good day, everyone, and welcome to the show.
Who is it?
Just making sure everything's working.
Oh.
So, yeah, look at that. We're here. We made it. We're only a couple minutes late. Sorry about that, guys. It happens, you know. Get over here. Go into this. Hope everyone had a glorious Monday.
Yeah?
I mean, you know, what can you hope for?
I mean, everything. I hope everything.
You hope for everything?
Everything.
Okay. Just trying to get everything situated here. All right, so we are good. I guess I can have a seat. Glorious indeed. All right, let me go back through these real quick and just see what's going on. Let's change the banner color here. Yeah, sorry, we had a car had to get done today, and we knew it was going to be cutting it close, but we made it, so that's all that matters. Hello, El Fuego. How's it going? Lewis.
What's going
on? Checking in from rainy Northeast. Pouring update. Oh, dude, it sucks. Greetings from Texas. Sunny and comfortable in East Tennessee. Love it. Okay. All right, car gift checking in. Hola. What's happening?
What's going on?
Dieter Fernando are running late. It happens. Yeah, I know. I feel bad. I'm sorry. All right. Hello to all. What's up, Frank? Change the microphone battery? No, we're just going to hope it works from Saturday. You know, like it's good enough. I charged all the batteries today. All right, so there we go. Where needs to be. Come on. Stay put. There you go. Oh, you know what? I know what it is.
What happened?
There we go.
Oh, that's what it is.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it is.
I left you in charge.
I was not here.
Yeah,
I was
know.
talking with somebody else.
Yeah. All right. So if you have questions, go ahead, get them in, and we will get to those. First things first, though, is that we need to jump over to Facebook because over there we do the 12-volt Clean Wire Club. And, of course, every week, Metra sponsors a winner. Metra's T-Spec as well as Tsunami. And, well, this week is no different. Let me post on the picture here. Go full screen.
Full screen.
Boom. Is this Marty's?
Is
this Marty?
That's Marty.
This is Marty Adams' check?
Adams' check. Yes, that's right.
So this must be the one he's doing for his kid, his son. I think that's, because this is all the stuff from the competition.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Yeah.
What competition?
The 12-volt Clean Wire Challenge at Mobile Solutions. These were his amps from the Clean Wire Challenge.
Okay.
So his son drives trucks or something like that, and he's out of town. So while he's out of town, he's putting a system in his truck
for him.
Yeah, so
that's pretty cool.
Since he got the amps for competing in the competition, he's repurposing the amps to go into his son's truck.
Very nice.
So he's got an old Epicenter. This is the connections block from that. It's got some old Audison speakers. He's got like most installers, he's got a bunch of stuff. It's a D instead of an F, Christian. But yeah. So this was for his son. So it was pretty cool.
Yes, it was nice.
But anyways, Danny asked a question here. Would you? It's funny because this was asked of me today. Not these particular amplifiers, but the answer to this is no. No, I'm not installing the old Precision Power Art Series amplifiers. If you had them rebuilt to where you had all new capacitors put in there and whatnot, then I'd consider it.
Yeah.
But No, so the problem is that anytime we do one of those, it just doesn't end well for the amplifiers. You know, they're not.
Yeah.
I mean, I got to be honest with you. That amplifier was never a great amplifier when it was new. I know some of you guys out there going, "Oh,
Oh my god, how
dude!" I
dare
can't
you.
tell you how many of those
Dude.
amplifiers, the capacitors just popped off the board and would roll around
It
inside.
never
It
happened.
happened all the time. So trying to use that. The other thing too is that you have to remember. Yes, I should have mine in the little JL Audio koozie.
You have nothing.
That's fine. That's all I need.
Huh?
That's all I need.
This is yours.
You sure?
Yeah. I don't have it.
Oh, that was the one I poured. Yeah, okay. The ice cubes. Anyways, the problem is that a lot of these newer cars' electrical systems just don't put out what these are capable
Old
of
style.
handling.
Oh, yeah.
Some of these cars go up to 14, 15 volts when they're charging, and these amplifiers would definitely not like that. So it's time to let these amplifiers just kind of become the artwork that they are and move on.
Just put it in the wall.
Or if you really want to have fun with them, take the circuit boards out and put something new inside of it. I think that's a great idea.
Okay.
I mean, hell, you could probably fit a kicker key in pretty much all of these amplifiers. I don't want to do it, but you're more welcome to try.
I mean, you have the Orion right there.
I know I could probably fit both kicker keys inside of that. I almost thought about doing that. You know, we get some aluminum blocks to make a new billet heatsink to go inside of it, and then just actually we could probably just put the whole amplifier inside of it and not even worry about it. You know, so you know you could probably.
And then where are you gonna mount it?
I have no idea.
Exactly.
I have no idea. I think it's a terrible idea. So, yeah. So, anyways, so that's what we got so far.
Yeah.
So you want to start reading and getting some questions?
I'm going to.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying. I'm just going to take random stuff here. Hey guys, have you noticed a sound quality difference using 4-volt dip switch on Pack Amp Pro versus 5-volt one? Thank you. No, I haven't. Although some amplifiers don't do as well with 5 volts of input. So going down to the 4 volts, you're not overloading the input of the amplifier. So yes, you could notice a sound difference if the amplifier you're using, like for example, when we used to do PDX amplifiers from Alpine or any Alpine amp for that matter, we haven't done a lot of the new ones to test in one, but the older ones, they did not like 5 volts. When we'd use a Kenwood radio, they would hate that. And so when we do amp pros, we'd always click the 4 volt instead of the 5 volt, and the amplifiers would perform better because they would constantly go into over input protection and shut off. So you might be experiencing something like that. Not all amplifiers like a lot of voltage in. Nando, you take any pics of the JP77 you guys recently installed? So we didn't actually install it. That's why he's giving you this puzzled look on his face. We just tuned the DSR1. They did the install. We didn't actually install it.
Which one?
The Mustang that we tuned the other day outside. One you took the door panel off because the tweeter didn't work. And then comes to find out it was just the wiring in the kick panel. Remember that one?
That's what they call it? JP77?
That was a JP77. Yeah.
Okay.
So no, he didn't. So
no.
Actually, these are old glasses. I finally just have them to where I can wear them. I've had them for 2 years, and it's taken 2 years to get lenses in them that I can actually see out of. So, yeah. Good times.
Yeah.
Happy to hear y'all going to have some ARC audio stuff. I love my PSM Pro. It's the best. Yes. So
it's a beast.
Best beast.
Same thing.
Same thing.
Yes.
Yeah, so we are going to start carrying just the iData compatible ARC products. So no speakers, no amps, no subs as of right now. We have another dealer in the area, and so the deal we worked out with them is just iData compatible stuff because we do a lot of iData integration, and they're the only ones that make iData compatible amplifiers. So I got to have them.
The only ones, huh?
Yeah, they're it. That's it.
Wow.
That's all they make.
They're special.
Totally special.
Oh, look at that. It's Dennis.
All right, hold on.
What's up, guys?
Click this so that it looks good in the scroll. What's up, Dean and Nando? And boys. Team Ground Zero in the house.
That's
It's
right.
funny. So today I was over there for some reason. I don't know what I was doing, but I was looking at the lanyards, and we have all those Ground Zero amplifiers hanging, Ground Zero lanyards hanging over there. And I was just like, and then we were talking about the Austria trip today.
Yeah.
I want refurbished Macintosh amplifiers installed in a newer vehicle. God, will you guys let it go, man? Let it go. Sure, go for it.
Yeah, why not?
I mean, no, don't go for it. No, just don't. Just don't. Maybe batteries and stuff like that will help. Marty, what's up? You made the cover of the day. Apparently you missed it. You were late. What the hell? So I'm not going back. But hey, man, congratulations on making it. Ada's just having a good time over there. What is a good free RTA software? What do you mean, like for what? Like a PC? What's the one?
REW.
REW. REW is, I think, the extremely low cost. REW, if you're going to use it on a, if you're running it on a PC, if you're running it on an iPad or something like that, they're $10. I think it's $10 for RTA by Studio 6. It's worth $10. But yeah, that's what I got.
Yeah.
Hold on. So going back to the PCM Pro, Ada says the PCM Pro is 8 channels of goodness in Maryland tomorrow. Okay. And
What?
then, yeah, I know. Yuck, they suck. He was talking about, I'm guessing he's talking about reusing Macintosh amps in a new car.
Oh,
all right, then we're going to go to Cuddy here. He says, question, do you know if there is an Amp Pro for a 2023 Chevy Traverse with Bose? No, there's no Amp Pro for that. However, I would check to see if the Metra piece works on that one. It probably does, because Metra just put an update out on their piece. There was it sounds amazing, we know this, but there was an update that they just published on it, because we all they're like, hey, it has this problem. And they were like, hey, okay. They finally fixed the problem. It was just cutting off, and you'd have to reset it. So now they've put a check in there. If it doesn't see audio at startup, it knows to reboot and connect back into the system. So we're pretty solid there. AMP does have a most interface. I don't know if it's going to work on a 2023, but they do have a most interface they're working on. But probably it's going to, they say by the end of the year, but I'm thinking probably sometime first or second quarter 2024. I have no inside information on that.
What's up, buddy?
What's up, Oscar? He was hanging out last night on Haley Knows Best.
Yeah?
Yep. It's a good time. It's a good time by all. Hey, everyone. What's up, Mr. Freeman? How you doing? Hold on. Cargill says, Dean, what is the name of the audio control mic? So it is the iTest mic if you have something with a lightning adapter, but I would just go with the new U-Test mic.
Yeah.
Because the U-Test mic is USB-C, so it'll work with everything moving forward. And it has a longer cable, and it's easier to put into a car because you can just use a USB-C extension.
Yep.
I'm sorry, it has USB-C on is what I meant to say. So it'll work with all the stuff moving forward.
The microphone comes just...
Fang of Truth is on point as always. Thank you, Fang, because we do need to pay bills because we have quite a few. We have 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 mounts to feed. Hey, guys, have you heard of this little brand called Audio Control? Maybe you have, maybe you haven't. But if you haven't, make sure to head over to audiocontrol.com where you can find the new P&W speakers. One in particular that we're most excited about is the new 2-ohm 3.5. That's right, a 2-ohm 3.5. Why, you say? Well, for all you guys out there that have that Alpine or amplified system in a Jeep, Dodge, Chrysler vehicle, and you're like, man, I just wish I had some sizzle. I like the way it sounds. I need some sizzle. Well, guess what? That's a 2-ohm speaker in there. Now, if you have the non-premium, that's a 8-ohm speaker, so definitely just put a 4-ohm version in there, not the 2-ohm. But if you have that premium audio system, or you're going to upgrade the whole thing, and you're like, I want to get a little bit more power to those, I'm going with that smaller amplifier, check out the 2-ohm 3.5 that they make. It's a coaxial. It is also bi-amp capable, so check it out, audiocontrol.com, or a dealer near you. Ooh, and thank you, Audio Control, for being a sponsor of the show. Hi, guys. Total fire ban in Sydney today. High of 35 degrees Celsius. It's 95 Fahrenheit for those of us in the U.S. that don't understand your whole thingy there. Dry and high winds. Not even summer yet. Well, I can tell you if your summer is going to suck as much as ours, you're in for one hell of a time. But yes, on those islands, it gets hot, man. It gets hot.
It is hot.
We don't need a forest fire. RAW does the trick. It's free. Yes, Jeff. Thank you. And that is what Andy recommends. If you'd like some free information on how to use RAW, head over to audiofrog.com and go into the tech briefs or the audio frog U, I think is what it might be called. Andy gives a whole how to use RAW in there. He has his mic that he does recommend, the AMM one, which is really nice. Comes with a really awesome CD that you can burn over to a thumb drive, but it's totally worth it. I bought it just for that. And that was what I was also thinking about. The Dayton Audio UMM6 works great as well and not as expensive. Yes, that's the other one. I got to order one of those. I keep forgetting to do that.
Gel Audio has also a Tune 4.
Which I think is just a mic.
Okay.
Or is the software. It might be the software. Because there are a bunch of USB mics now.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we have a ton of them. I don't have the JL USB mic. I didn't know they made one, to be honest with you. But, I mean...
Hello, everyone.
It's because I have that more expensive one in the suitcase. Hello, everyone. Dean, when is Ken coming on the show? Ken has been in the Mesa Summit this past week, where all the Mesa dealers were. So we're in communications with him. So as soon as he gets some free time, we'll get him on and we'll talk about.
And then we just find out that we're going to have another guest.
Yes, we can't talk about that guest.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, next Monday we can talk about it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We find out
we're
going to have another one.
Yeah, that's pretty exciting. Wait, question 2 from Cuddy. He says, what would you recommend for adding an amp to a 2023 Traverse with Bose? Well, okay, so let's take this and kind of break it into multiple pieces. First things first.
Throw me like a good one.
Throw you a good one. Well, The first thing first, we have to figure out how many channels we're dealing with, right? So, and the second thing is once we know how many channels we're dealing with, what do we want to do with those channels? So, for example, let's say we have a center, a tweeter, a mid, okay, and then in the rear it might have a mid and a tweeter, and then there might be a sub.
Sure.
Okay, so that's a bare minimum, right? 8, 9, 10 channels.
Yeah.
We have to figure out what of those 10 channels do we want. Now, keep in mind, anytime you have an active center channel, you really do need to re-amplify that because you need that level control on it. If for nothing else, you need level control on it. You need the ability to match it to your tweeters and mid-range now because it's Bose and it's all integrated.
When it's amplified center channel.
Yes.
So when it's not?
When there is no, so it's 10 channels. That's what he's saying. It's got 10 channels. So that was a good guess. So now we look at it and go, all right, what do we like and what don't we like about it? If the goal is to just make it louder, then you could do straight amplification. Okay. Get a 6-channel amp, do center, tweeter, mid, make it louder, maybe add a sub in the back, 7 channels. That's cool, right? Mm-hmm. Now, if we want it to sound better, now we have a different approach that we have to take to it. Okay, how do we want it to sound better? Like, we still like the surround that it's doing. We just might want to maybe boost some treble, add a little mid bass. So then we look at DSP with equalization, right?
Ooh.
So then we go, okay, so we're still going channel for channel. So at this point, we need 7 channels of equalization DSP. So we need either a standalone 8 to 10 DSP or 8 to 12 DSP, or we need an amplifier that has that built into it. So that's how this keeps snowballing in. Now, as far as a good amplifier goes, the debate is out there. I mean, Moscone has the 8 to 10. They have the 6 to 8. It's not going to be enough. So 8 to 10 is probably at the minimum of what you're looking at. So you have Moscone, you have Audison, you have Arc. So really, you have to look at it that way. So now the other thing too is if you're gonna, what do I need to do to the rears? Is that something I need to play with? Do I even care about the rears? So only concern yourself with the channels and keep in mind active. Active is where you want to be. Don't plan on summing anything. Yeah, don't try all that because at that point, if you do want to sum together, now then we need to worry about the all pass filters. So we have to negate the all pass filter, which means we have to add it to the other side. We have to find out is there delay between the dash speaker and the door speaker. And if there is, we have to do that. And so then it becomes a whole big project. So that's why I said we kind of have to figure out what we're trying to do and take it from there. And that's why when I said we add DSP, we just add equalization and crossover, leave the time alignment off because it is doing that for you. So there's no reason to introduce anymore because then you'll just get weird shit that happens, and that's no good. So that's kind of where we're at. So you have to decide what course you want to take.
Wow.
Yeah, but Alpine doesn't have anything correct audio, Lance. That's the only reason why I didn't really go there. Because in the past, what we do is we do the, like in the Hondas, we do the 850, the 0850X, because it has 8 channels at 25 watts. But at that point, we really don't need to amplify the rears. We can just leave the Bose to do it. So, yeah. Okay. Let me go right there. I'll pair those AC 3.5s with an LC 61200. Finally, can ditch the SCAR 3.5s.
Hey,
That is a spectacular idea. You should totally do that.
perfect. You will have just a scar from those speakers.
Scar in your wallet.
Yeah. It's
Scar.
Like,
It's like a scar on your underwear. Shit stain. Oh, anyways. Does an Amp Pro get rid of bass roll off? I have a 2020 Ram 2500 and still when turning it up, bass is softer. Yes, there is no equalization coming off of an Amp Pro. So if you look at an Amp Pro on a RTA, it's totally flat. So there's no bass roll off. However, keep in mind, an Amp Pro can only recreate sound that is actually there. All right, that's the one caveat you have to remember. So it is taking whatever the flat signal is out of the radio and putting that would go into the amplifier, and it is stripping that off. So all your equalization, all the bass roll off, all the loud, that's basically loudness. All the loudness, all of that nonsense is done in the amplifier, not in the radio. So it is giving you the best, cleanest signal you can get out of that factory radio. And that answer right there is in where the problem could occur. Because if the factory radio isn't capable of producing the sounds that you're trying to get or add some floor noise, so you understand what we're saying here is that if it's not there, the Amp Pro can't create it. It's just not there. That's why. But no, as far as it getting softer as you're turning it up, that's not a result of the Amp Pro. That could be something else. I don't know what. You could be losing power, like you don't have enough voltage to keep it going. Some amplifiers that use boost power supplies will rail back the power as you turn the volume up. So the more demand you put on the amplifier, best example of that was when we were at Kicker and we had the CXA 800.1, and I believe that's the model number. And we ran it at multiple different voltages to show that the amplifier never shut off. But depending on how much voltage was going into it, it could be a 1,000 watt amplifier or it could be a 400 watt amplifier. So you might actually be hearing the voltage decrease in the amplifier, reducing the amount of power you're getting out of it. That is a problem with some of these bigger amplifiers and these crappier electrical systems.
all right.
Garlic shrimp with potatoes for dinner. Oh, that sounds good. Yeah, I'm in. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That sounds good.
Yeah.
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 Everybody, dinner at Dean's house.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
what time? So everybody can get there.
30 minutes. Yeah.
30 minutes, guys.
Yep.
Haters cooking.
Yep, means the house is going to stink. So I know the house is going to stink.
All right, ready?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, I mean, I'm
not
waiting
even
on
ready.
you.
Yeah.
All right, well, you keep going. I'm gonna pull up Fang here.
Perfect.
Think of making 90-degree brackets. Press one leg down between dash and pillar about 3 inches deep and an 1/8 inch gap. Are we talking? What are we making the brackets for, Fang? I'm probably missing the other half of this somewhere, but hey, it happens. All right, hold on. I got a follow up here from the other day. Found CD radio Kenwood DDX 557S. Any inputs on that radio just to have double DIN Android Auto Crutchfield for the win. There you go. Awesome. We knew there was a Kenwood in there somewhere. I have a set of Morel Hybrid two-way system and a set of CDM 8800 mid-woofer powered by audio control D6. I want to go active, but the tweeter and mid woofer are 6 ohm. Would that be an issue? No. No, don't worry about any of that. It's okay. It's not going to matter. No. It's just, as far as performance goes, no, it's not going to hurt anything. You're going to get a little less power to them, but it's not the end of the world. That amplifier puts out 110 watts a channel, so a little less power is probably good for those. Have you guys worked on the Hyundai Venue yet?
Venue.
Sure. Venue, sure. I see there is a dash kit for them, but no harness listed. Yeah, that sounds about right. To answer the question, no. I can't even pronounce it, so I've never even seen it yet. But that is the case in a lot of these things, is that they will make a dash kit, but testing for the harness for some reason doesn't ever happen.
Yeah.
So it's kind of weird. But
we're gonna make half of the product.
Yeah, we're gonna make half the product, and then you can figure it out. Yeah, I don't know. Check iData, see what they list on that car.
Yeah.
You never know.
Hey. Yeah. Pretty much.
Yeah. Hi guys, I finally took your advice. It happens. Haley's 23 and she hasn't taken it yet. So, and ordered 2 flat custom 6.5-inch woofer brackets for my 17 Mustang GT. The speakers will have more room to breathe. Thank you. Oh, very nice.
Very nice.
Hey man, if we gave advice and someone took it, damn. Do you have any experience with the DD audio? All right, I can already say no. 6 to 12 channel DSP price, $570.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
No.
Wow. No, I haven't seen it. 6 to 12. Man, 6 in, 12 out. That just doesn't seem like enough. I don't know.
6 in, no.
I don't know. $570. I mean, it's a good price, but it's just going to depend what it does. I mean,
right.
Most 12
we
channel
only
DSP.
need one band EQ to do.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, I definitely need one band EQ. I'd have to look at the software to see what it's doing. I mean, at the end of the day, it's probably going to have a 30 band EQ for every channel, some basic crossovers, or that's what you're going to need, time alignment, stuff like that. So it'll probably do everything you need it to do. But I don't know how good it's going to sound. I don't know anything about it. I mean, I would assume DD does all right. I mean, they're the other Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Thoughts on using 600 volt 2 amp terminal blocks on amp rack for the speaker wires to disconnect the rack from the vehicle. If you needed to do that, then yes, that's probably a wonderful thing to use, and it'll probably work great. I'm not a big terminal strip guy. However, some cases there is a necessity for them, in which case I'm down. Like we use them in the lab because we're taking things in and out. But yeah, I get it. But yeah, it's probably fine. I mean, that's way more than you're going to need. So should be okay.
Yeah. All right.
Ada's saying it's good. I'm assuming he might be talking about the DSP. I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. Speaking of PSM Pro, or he could be answering this question. You never know. Speaking of PSM Pro, how would you recommend making the wiring come from a bundle of connectors that tie into the PSM Pro nice and neat? It's hard because of how close all the wires are. So what I like to do, so it's the same problem with the DSR-1. And typically what I do is I fan them out so that I usually have them come out, make a turn, and then I fan them so that the RCAs kind of sit like this, and stagger them. But that's really the easiest thing that I've found to do that. But yeah, it is kind of difficult to make it look cool. And I'm not opposed to cutting and splicing the regular wires to make them longer to fit my needs. So I will do whatever I need to on that. The RCAs are always the crappy thing. Mesa Summit, that's like the Freemasons of the 12 volt industry. Oh, man. Oh, tell us how you really feel. Hey, and time for sponsor number 2. Yeah, Moscone America. That's right, guys. If you're interested in some high-end Class AB badass amplifiers, make sure to head over to MosconeAmerica.com and or Gladen.com. Gladen does have a little bit more information, but the America site is what is actually available here in the U.S. These two amplifiers you're looking at is the 8 to 10 as well as the 6 to 10. These are DSP amplifiers that have plenty of power, full AB class, and if you have a Bronco and you're like, man, I really want to upgrade my Bronco and it's not a BO system, well, you need something that is an SB class amplifier compatible, high level to low level, because that's right. These amplifiers use a new class, not really new, but new to us here in the US. It's an SB class amplifier. You can think of it as kind of like a dual stage amplifier. Either way, has been wreaking havoc on installation with the Broncos. There's one manufacturer claims that they have a solution, and they do. However, they're not the only ones. Check out these Moscone Pro amplifiers for all your SB class amplifier needs. Mesa is great for us. It is.
For who?
I have no idea. I'm just agreeing with him.
I mean, this is a mesa.
A plateau?
No, it's a table, but in Spanish it's a mesa.
Okay. Who's ready for SEMA?
This guy right here.
Totally ready for SEMA. We were just talking. I sent a text to Eric today.
Oh, there you go.
To find out what we should be getting excited about. Because we'll be there with Rockford Fosgate, so it ought to be good. And he can't wait to go to Circus for a steak dinner. That's where the steak dinner is at, Circus. That's the steak dinner, Circus.
Really?
Yep, that's the place. And it's been backed up by several others that say, oh yeah, Circus has the best steak.
That's the steak.
That is the steak.
All right.
What's new in AB?
What's
new in AB amplifier technology? Is there any compact AB amps that are top notch? Who's making them? Compact and AB class typically don't go together unless your name is Tony D'Amore. He does have a compact class AB amplifier, but it is not available yet.
He's working.
He's working on it, but no, there's
have some. Yeah.
One day maybe, but no, there's really compact. No, not a lot of compact AB stuff coming up. What a lot of like what Moscone's doing is they're doing slide technology, like in the new Pro 430. The 1 and 2 are high biased AB class amplifier, so it is like an A class amplifier up to a certain point, and then it uses their slide technology to slide it into AB when it needs to do more power to keep the efficiency and sound quality where it needs to be at. So that's really what we're seeing the most. And like you look at like this giant guy right here, Ground Zero, variable bias amplifiers on all the Ground Zero stuff up from this is what, uranium.
This is uranium,
and the one up from this.
And they just redo the whole system of uranium. So
so they all have variable biased, but they're big. So no small AB stuff yet.
Beautiful, that one.
Yes. Dean and Fernando, do you see independent crossovers coming to audio control DSP software? Currently, they are paired. That is the one feature I'm waiting for. When you're talking left and right, no. I'm not saying it isn't going to have it, but on this iteration of the software that's currently available, no, I don't see it. I don't think we've ever talked about it in that, because most people just don't use that feature at all, ever. And I get it where you could use it, but so those are like their unpaired channels. So like in the standalone DSP, like the 810 and the 608, where you have 1 and 2 are paired together, 3 and 4 are separate, so are the crossover points because they're individual channels.
Mm-hmm.
But most of the time, every DSP that so they're real particular. Like 1 and 2 are tweeters, 3 and 4 mid bass. So, maybe you'd want to add a different crossover to a tweeter because you're maybe getting some weird or mid range just to get rid of some resonance or some weird stuff like that. I think a better EQ might be more important, like maybe notch filters or shelf filters or stuff like that. That would be my desire as opposed to different crossover points from left to right. So, but that's a big no. Not even moving on. What's up, Chris Vera?
What's up?
What's going on, buddy? Stinger High 10, Kenwood, DNR 1007, yeah, or Alpine Halo 511, 2000 Chevy Silverado Numbos. Isn't that the one that has a really nice dash that the high 10 looks good in?
Yeah, it is like
Yeah, it fits.
flush.
I think just
Yeah.
on pure cosmetics, I think that's the one that Stinger makes the high 10
I would do the height just
that,
for
that
the
fits
cosmetic.
into the factory bezel that they make.
Mhm.
That looks really nice.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie, that looks really, really nice.
Yeah, because it looks like factory, man.
Yeah, it looks very good.
The other ones are gonna stick out a
Yeah,
little bit more. So,
and then feature-wise, they're very similar. So,
yeah,
I'd go for cosmetics on that one. It's a great radio too. So I
It
mean,
is.
that's
Yep.
besides the point. But
Oh, Lord, that's Gary.
Gary Smith.
Yeah.
Oh, from Sound Effects.
Yeah,
Hola.
that's
Hey,
Gary.
what's happening, man?
Yeah,
Is that
that's
a rack
right.
system? Wow, it's a nice rack system. It's got a
Racks
hell of
and
a
racks
rack
and
on
racks.
that one.
Racks and racks.
I think it's stacks on stacks. Any opinion on the Focal Access 165 3-way component set? The 3.5 is too big. That's my only opinion. You got to have room for that bigger mid range. The Flax and the K2s are smaller, but they are double the money because that's just how Focal rolls. So it's a bigger speaker, and that's the only thing I got. So sometimes it's hard to fit. Other than that,
Yeah.
that's all I got. Moving on.
Uh-huh.
I tested my factory deck with an O-scope for maximum voltage before clipping, but instead of the sine wave clipping, the voltage drops from 3.2 to 2.8 at 50 from 70 on the volume dial. Signal is nice and flat otherwise, not EQ'd. What's going on here? So I'm going to remove that. All right. So electrical RTA is kind of the device that you really need to do this, because you need an electrical RTA to figure out what the actual from 20 to 20 looks like, because there's going to be some form of a EQ in the car, right? An electrical RTA is, if it's a 30 band electrical RTA, there's 30 voltmeters there, each one looking at a specific frequency and then giving you the output. If you take your oscilloscope and put it on voltage or whatever it might be, you're looking at one frequency. You looked at 50, you looked at 70. What you're seeing there is the EQ curve, but you've only plotted 2 points. If you took and played a test tone, so if you took a graph paper and you put a scale on it from 0 plus or minus, okay, let's say plus 12, minus 12, and you put a dot at 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. Okay, and you put all those. And then you played your test tone, leaving volume fixed and 20 hertz. And you wrote down or you graphed your voltage. What you're going to see is your EQ curve from the factory. Okay, you're manually looking at the EQ curve. This is what an electrical RTA does for you, is that when you play that pink noise, it's going to show you. So what you're seeing is the EQ output. And that's why we always say, hey, the IRTA2 from DNF Tool Drawer is an awesome tool to have because you don't have to do that. But no, you can keep going. And if you keep going, which I would suggest doing, you could go all the way up and you'll see every point of how that factory EQ curve is. It's kind of a cool experiment. We should make a video doing that one time, just to show how hard it is to do. And then we can just plug in our IRTA2. Or you could do this. What you
don't see is a 23 cable boxes on the back of the tall rack.
Oh, we had a bar? 23. Jesus. I don't even want the one cable box I have. That's crazy.
No, really?
Yeah, it is. It's ridiculous. You good? You're just going to roll around?
Yeah, all right.
Okay. Sound treatment recommendations for plastic panels in the back of a 4Runner. Something with foam?
Something with foam, definitely.
Something with foam. So, go ahead. No, I'm good. You're the sound treatment guy.
I have no idea, man. No, I mean.
So you want butyl metal foam.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you're looking at.
Yep.
You want to add weight. So thick butyl that's bendable,
Mhm.
so not too crazy, but crazy. Metal, so you can shape it, and then foam, so when it goes back in and it's could possibly touch something, it doesn't rattle.
Yeah. I mean, you can use that one, or you can go and use Resin X makes the tiles like kind of like foam. That is just foam.
Yeah.
Uh, check that the website, and they have pretty good stuff too. So
So Chris and Elias are having fun. Hey Elias, you're doing great today. Chris, gracias amigo.
Chris,
Yeah, I know it's crazy. It is. It is crazy. Um, Here we go.
there you go. That was the
I have a 2021 Honda Civic EX hatchback with factory radio, touchscreen. I was looking at the Sony XAV 900S, but will I lose the functionality with troubleshooting factory menus for car technicians? So the answer to this could be yes or no, depending on if iData makes an interface for it. So if iData makes an interface for this, no. If iData doesn't make an interface for this, yes. So that is the simple. That's it. The only ones that make interfaces into cars to allow you to keep the troubleshooting and all the factory radio stuff is iData. And I don't know if I'd be pulling out that factory radio um, in that car personally. But if iData does make a harness for it, then that'd be the only way I'd be comfortable in doing it. Is that so? Check that out. Go to idata.com, idatalink.com, or maestro.com. It'll all take you to the same place.
right.
Is that good?
Yep.
Okay. If I would like to start my own car stereo installation business, how do you charge for your work? How can I get the price and what are based for them to be fair, not doing it for a bargain? Okay, so there's a couple things that you're obviously as a new business owner you're going to have to figure out. First things first is I would call around to all the car dealerships in your area and get the basic quote on what they charge for an hour's worth of service. Okay. So for example, I would call Ford, I would call Honda, I would call Mercedes, Infiniti, Lexus. I'd call them all and find out what they charge per hour. That's going to give you an idea of what the going rate per hour of a technician's life is in your part of the world. Next, we got to keep the lights on. At the end of the day, we got to keep the lights on. These lights, they need money to turn on, and these light everything, and this internet, all that. So you have to figure out how much an hour of your life costs in your business. Okay, as a technician, because that's going to go into it. Because at the end of the day, you have to think of an hour as an item to be sold. A lot of people don't, and that's where it becomes a gray area. So if you work 8 hours, you have 8 boxes of time that you need to sell per day. Each one of those boxes has to pay for its fair share of lighting and water and all of that. So now then, once you've figured that number out, you also have to figure out like what are shop supplies going to cost. So like when we quote out everything is included in that. So our installation charge covers shop supplies, which is tape and ferrules and butt connectors and solder and stuff like that. But then like speaker brackets, no, you got to pay for speaker brackets. So you have to figure out how much is a speaker bracket. If you have to make a speaker bracket because they don't, well, then you have to charge for the materials you're using and the time. So it is a pain in the ass is basically what it comes down to. So, like we know how much it costs to run this install bay for a day. So if we have a car that's going to be here for 2 days, we know we have a minimum of how much that is going to take. And so you have to figure that number out for yourself. And that's how you don't go out of business in the first 5 days. No customers, 3,500 square foot house, feeds 25 TVs and 4 outside, 75-inch. God damn.
All right. So I think Gary's house is a great place to go see football.
Okay, this isn't Gary's house, but we should go to this guy's house. Damn, that's some craziness,
That
Gary.
is awesome. That is awesome.
And then also, I would suggest attending something like Master Tech Expo this year in Mesa, Arizona, where they have a full owners class line of classes that they're having together. So
Sales,
and
owners,
plus you're going to be around
installation,
other people that own
Yeah.
businesses, and you can ask these questions. which is
Master
really
Tech
nice.
Expo.
Yes, MasterTech
Dot
Expo.
com.
Yep. It's definitely the place to go. We all go there to learn how to fab, but you don't have to. You can actually learn there to go how to sell and run a business.
I'm just go for the Wi-Fi.
I just go to it because they gave me a microphone. Do you recommend the tweeter off the deck, or would you run them off the amp? Tweeters always go off an amp. If there's an amp, I'm using an amp. I'm not using a deck. Deck is dirty. Dirty power. Dirty bird. Don't want no deck power. No scrubs. Hi guys, I have a key 180.4 active and will be sending mid bass to a CXA 360.4 bridge. Wow! Should I switch filters off and run direct from the 800.4? So the simple answer to this is yeah, leave the filters off because the 800.4 has them. However, it's fixed, like it's 80, it's 100, it's 120. So there's no, like 80 is cool. 80 at 12 is cool, and that's what it has, and it's just a cool little dip switch. It makes life easy. And you know what? Just leave it like that because it does make it easy. Otherwise, you have to do voltage matching, and it's a pain in the ass. So yeah, I would just leave it on. Leave the key. Let the key do its thing, because otherwise, yeah, you could totally screw it up. But I do recommend making sure you voltage match the outputs and then run the software again, just because it might change the way the interaction between the front or the tweeter and the mid bass are. So. I was gonna say you're gonna. It's his third house, the same size. I started his first house back before coming to sound effects and doing side work on weekends. LOL, rough life, dude. That is a rough life. Are you kidding me? That's a ton of shit.
That's a ton of work.
I mean, that's like, did you finish? You're on his third house, but have you ever stopped working for him? I think is probably what's going on, because Paul never goes anywhere. He just sits on his bar stool and looks at us. I'm gonna go.
Okay.
All right, hold on.
That one.
This one.
Yep.
Now that Nav TV is out, what will be the go-to A to B for 4 B&O Explorers? All right, so we haven't used the Nav TV A to B in a while now. No. We've been using the PAC piece. Once PAC shipped their A to B piece, we immediately switched over. And if PAC wouldn't have shipped theirs, we would have been going with the Mobridge. Because, yeah.
Dun, 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 dun.
Now, moving forward, here in the next month or two, we're going to have the iData A to B piece, which I'm really looking forward to because they've put a lot of effort into the sound of it, which most people don't for some reason. Nav TV did a really good job on the Zen A to B of trying to make it sound good. Like they would use Burbron DA converters and stuff like that. I don't know how successful they were with them, but we do know how much effort iData is putting into their AB adapters, so can't wait to see. Can't wait to play with it.
That'll be fun to see.
I know, right? So, okay, but there's more than 7 minutes left. We're only 48 minutes in. It's like 12 minutes left. Okay. Hey guys, I'm planning on having an Alpine PDX V9 with Alpine Arc coaxials front and rear with kicker mid-range in the dash 2017 Tahoe Alpine Halo 10, where I need crossovers for the front doors and mid-range. Hopefully that seems to make sense. So it's a 5-channel amp, and if you're going to do any front rear sub stuff with it, you're going to need passive crossovers. If you're going to do tweeter mid-range or mid-range mid-bass and sub, no, because it does have a 10-time multiplier switch on it, and it will band pass the front channels and the rear channels. And how it does it is whatever you set the front channel to, the bottom, meaning the lowest frequency it's going to play, the top frequency for the rear channels are going to be that. So let's say you cross it over at 3,000. And so it's 3,000 and up would be on 1 and 2, and then 3,000 to 80 would be the rear channels. So I hope that made sense. Touche. Okay, go ahead. Yes, we started late, Christian.
We started late.
You good?
Yeah.
Can I hide this one? Okay. No, we already did that one. I'm going to go here. Good afternoon, guys. Looking to buy a new vehicle, 2024 Honda CR-V hybrid. My question is, how confident would you be on being able to get decent sound system while maintaining factory radio? Spectacularly good. It's a Honda. No problem, man. Here's the thing, man. If you get into something that has a new modern DSP amplifier, you're not going to have any issues because the more advanced DSPs we have, the more problem-solving capabilities they are built in with. A lot of these higher-end DSPs are coming with 3 sets of equalizers in them. And you say, 3 sets? What are you talking about? They have one for every channel. No, they do. But you have an input EQ, meaning the main EQ, the part, the big, we don't even have to touch that. We have an input EQ, meaning we can go in and we can do anything we need to do on input. So all pass filters, adding in a low shelf or high shelf, adding in delay, anything we need to do, we can do in that new input EQ. And then we have the main EQ. So once we fix the sound coming in, we can now do anything we want with it on the output side. And then the third EQ is some of these also have a global EQ, meaning we can tune each speaker and then we can do the whole front all by itself. We can do whatever we want. It's really cool. So, no, I have total confidence that you can get in there and make anything you want. Plus, the other thing, too, is a lot of these DSPs also have like their own inputs. So, put their knob maybe and use that if it's not anything you're happy with. But we never do that, and people are so happy. Follow up on the oscilloscope and voltage drop question. Good explanation. I do have a DMA10. I have yet to plug it in. I think that would show me the electric RTA for best test than the oscilloscope. You are correct, Bobby. That does have an input RTA. So yes, you can plug that in. And yeah, on the first input page, play some pink noise, get your input, and you'll see what it looks like. You're making it hard.
Always.
It's okay though. At least you're doing it, man. So kudos to that. But no, you're all right. Hey guys, can I use the PAC Amp Pro or AP4 CH41 to add a mono block amp to my 2023 Ram 1500 for subs and still retain my Harman Kardon system? Correct. Yes. In the Chrysler, as long as you have the Harman Kardon or Alpine system, when you're adding an Amp Pro, it is a T-harness into the factory system. So if all you're trying to do is add in subs, yes, keep in mind that you do also have to shut off the ANC, which might be a secondary harness you have to buy with that. I think it is. It's the speaker wire. It's the extra speaker wire harness. It's like an AH4 or some weird thing like that. So definitely get that as well so that you can bypass the fake engine noise crap. Because it won't come through the subwoofer, but it'll still try to do it through the rest of the speakers, which can get kind of weird. So we always bypass it. If you just get the Sub Pro, it comes with those harnesses to bypass all of that. The regular Amp Pro doesn't because it assumes you're doing everything. So they make it an extra harness you got to buy. Never discount your labor. Always remember that. Oh, for sure. For sure. You're not doing this. You're not a nonprofit. I mean,
yeah.
You're not, we're not here to make friends. We're here to put food on the table. Making friends is always nice as long as we both understand our position in this relationship. What chandelier would you recommend? What chandelier would you recommend for 2017? I mean, whatever that guy had in that Honda,
that was pretty.
That
cool.
was a nice chandelier.
Yeah.
You probably
that was a bummer that I
didn't
really
work.
wanted to turn it on.
Yeah,
man.
I mean, you could probably find a nice chandelier at a like a mobile home park, but a motor home park. Like where they sell Winnebagos and stuff, Airstreams and stuff.
Yeah,
that'd be cool. Take out the dome light, put a big chandelier. I don't know if you guys ever saw Escape from New York years ago. It was an old movie, Kurt Russell. but they had these Cadillacs. I think they were Cadillacs. Could have been any big car from the 70s, but they had these chandeliers hanging in the front of the car, crystal chandeliers for the big pimp that would drive around. It was cool.
How many cars did you actually work that they have the phone, the telephone
In the car?
in the car and everything? Yeah.
Oh, yeah, of course.
You guys
Back in the day?
yeah?
Yeah. No, they never worked. I mean, nobody's paying for that crap. Dude, as soon as you could carry a phone, man, that was out, bro. It's like, sucks to be you.
Yeah. Oh, look who it is.
Joseph Norton. Hola, amigos. Sorry I'm late to the party. Joseph, you should have been here the other day. There was somebody that we had recommended give you a call.
We gave you your phone number.
They were just so happy. And they were like, Joseph is my new best friend. He's the coolest guy in the world. And we're like, really? We're talking about the same guy?
Yeah, Joseph is okay.
Yeah, we should get him on. I know we keep saying we need to.
For sure.
Yeah, I think for like November, December, we're just gonna have a bunch of guys on and just do end of year stuff.
December?
Yeah. Oh, he heard. Yeah. See, there you go.
Yeah.
That's nice. It's kind of scary, but yeah, because Oh, and then we're gonna go right into Ken.
Boom.
Hey guys, hope you're having a good show. By chance, did you see Ada pass through here tonight? I did see Ada pass through here tonight. It's hard to miss him.
Yeah. Really?
Yeah, I mean, let's be honest. It's Ada. It's hard to miss him. But yeah, no, Ada was in the comments doing Ada stuff, answering some questions, having a good time.
That's right.
As always. I appreciate anything you can do. Yeah, RV, recreational vehicle. Sure,
let's go. See you in SEMA, man.
Yes.
SEMA.
Yeah, I still got to get that glitter out of your hair. What's up, everyone? What's up, everyone? How's it going, Solo?
What's up?
There you go. Do your thing.
Do you think?
Does Maestro R2 have generic firmware for a Ford 2022 Ford Transit Connect does not show as any option? No. So that's the one thing is no. If it's not there, it's not there. There is no generic firmware for that. Sometimes they don't, man. Sometimes it's just as simple as they've never tested it. So I would give it a call and just ask, because sometimes they'll say, look, yes, it will work. We've never tested it, so we haven't put it on the site yet. There is that anytime you're doing these interfaces, and it's like every other car is on there but that one. Just call them up and ask, because it's not going to hurt anything for them to say, no, that's why it's not on there.
Hey, Eddie, saludos, mi hermano.
You'd be like, well, Dean told me to ask. You're a jerk. So, yeah, give him a question. Hold on. There was one here. I want to do this one. Good evening, fellas. Thanks for getting me back banging again. That Rockford Fosgate 1500 sounds amazing. Thanks again for fixing my armrest. You guys are top notch. That's our boy, man.
Oh, okay.
That's our boy.
Cool. No problem, man. That's awesome.
Dude, that thing was just kicking the shit out of those subwoofers, which is what he wanted. Not aftermarket related, but my wife's 14 escaped. The CD player quit working. I replaced it. I've heard that you need to program it with code that the radio has to see it. So in some cars, yes, this is true, because they do only go by serial numbers. If your car is one of those, I would definitely check out Forscan. Forscan, Forscan. You could probably get it on eBay or something like licensed for it, because it is out of Russia. And right now they're not selling in the United States. However, I'm told you might be able to get it on, or go to a dealer if you know a dealer that does it. If it is, I mean, honestly, I just plug the things in and see if they work. And if they don't work, then I worry about it. But yes, that's a possibility. Sometimes they just work though. I would give it a go. Really, the only time is like when you're going from one, like an old system to a new system, where like the software in the car is totally different. But if it's used to seeing a CD player, then I think it would just plug in. But if it does need to be programmed, Forscan. Okay. Yep. All right. I'm using the DMA10. I have full range monoblock amplifiers because I have 10 speakers in each door. Can I use the mono channels on the DMA10 to get full range sound, because it's only one RCA input? You can get full range sound out of any channel on the DMA10. Make sure you update it to the 2.0 software, because the 2.0 software gives you the ability to turn off all crossovers. So you can turn off the high pass or the low pass. You can do whatever you want. It gives you 12, 18, and 2040 dB octave slopes. So yes, but you can use the 2 mono channels if you want to do 1 RC out and just have it go. Yes, but make sure you update it to the new software because that'll give you more control for your crossover points. Last question is a follow-up to the 2021 Honda Civic EX Hat-Trick. What's your favorite snap form line out converter? So I'm not a big fan of line output converters in general. If we do have to use one, I am using an audio control because that's what we carry. However, I'm trying to sell you a product that has one built into it because I want to limit the amount of boxes I have to put in your car.
Mm-hmm.
So most amplifiers nowadays come with a built-in high-level to low-level adapter that'll take anywhere between 10 to 15, sometimes 20, 40 volts. So that is what I'm trying to get you into. So like if I'm selling you a DSP amplifier, I know it's going to have high level input and your system is not going to put out more voltage than it can handle.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to use the amplifier's internal high level to low level adapter.
For sure.
But if I need a standalone, I'm going audio control. But there again, if you buy a DSP, most DSPs pretty much, well, I'll just go with most. It's a safe word. Have really good high level to low level adapters built into them. However, the one thing you will need that is not going to be built into an amplifier's high level to low level is a load resistor. The new audio control LC5 and LC7 do have load resistors built into them. However, all you need is the audio control ACLGD20s, which is the greens. You need a pair for front, a pair for rear, or every channel that you're going to have if it has 10 channels.
Uh-huh.
So, but if you're replacing the radio, yeah, you're not. Anyways, you're asking if you keep it. So you do need the LGD green load resistors on the output of that radio. The radio, it's one of the radios that will still play if you do not have them. However, what it's doing to your signal looks like dog shit. And I'm going to end right here with Car Gift. Have a nice week, everyone. Great show as usual. Thank you, Car Gift. And thank you, everyone, for playing with us tonight and giving us your time. We hope you have a great rest of your week. Make sure to head over to Instagram where you can find us, 5 Minutes of 5-Star. You can head over to DNF Tool Drawer to find all the cool tools such as the IRTA, electrical RTA. You can go over to DNF Swag. I want to apologize. I was supposed to have a Smash Force production shirt up, and it was not loading last night. It was really ticking me off. So I got it built. I got it done. And Haley can attest to that. She goes, refresh the page. And I did that and erased everything. And I was like, okay, I'm just going to close my laptop right now. I know we've all been there. We just kind of, I'll deal with this tomorrow. So it will be up this week for those of you guys that are wanting the Smash Force production shirt. It's just Teespring is kind of, yeah, we'll figure it out and we'll get it up there for you guys. And that's it. That's all I got. Thanks to Audio Control. Thanks to Focal, Moscone, Gladen for sponsoring us, also known as Orca. You guys have a great rest of your day. We'll see you Friday morning. I'll see you Thursday, or you can just find us on Instagram. I'm out.
Bye, guys.